We've had an explosive start to this Critérium du Dauphiné, with wins for Tadej Pogačar from a GC breakaway and Jonathan Milan, who got dropped before dominating the sprint. Today's third stage sets off from Romain Bardet's hometown of Brioude, and it's another tough one to predict. The profile makes it look decent for a breakaway, but the GC favourites could also get involved later in the day. The start's going to be hard with two proper climbs, so I expect and I hope we'll have a strong breakaway. Our strategy is to try to be up at the front because I think there is a good chance for the break today. We'll also be keeping an eye on classic specialists like Mathieu van der Poel, who's finished third on the first two stages, and Fred Wright on the attack on stage one before sprinting to second yesterday.
I would like a hard start but not too hard that the break's too strong, and then an attacking final, but that it comes down to a reduced sprint at the end. And I think with the way the course is, I think that should happen. The only problem is there's Van der Poel's here as well.
If a strong breakaway goes, it can also be possible today. I think the GC teams will maybe not really care about the group going away today, so we'll have to see how it turns out.
The favourites will just be looking to keep out of trouble, especially on the late climb of the Côte du Château Jaune.
It will be important to be well in the front with 22k to go, but I think it's still a pretty long way. Maybe some sprinters will get in difficulties, but I think the good climbing sprinters can survive and maybe can go to the finish line. So I think today there's only one key point in the stage, and we just have to be up there.
At just over 207 kilometres, this is the longest stage of this year's Dauphiné. Two climbs right at the start should help the breakaway to form quickly, and it's up and down all day long with more than 3,000 metres of elevation gain. The Côte du Château Jaune comes inside the last 20k. It's 1.2 kilometres at 9.2%, which could make all the difference before they sweep down to the finish line in Châteauneuf. Well, as expected, there was a lively start to the day's action, but it took almost an hour for the breakaway to form, with the race leader, Jonathan Milan, suffering on the early climbs. 13 men eventually got away, including Mathieu van der Poel in the green jersey. All-rounders Eddie Dunbar, Florian Lipovitz and Ivan Romeo were also in there, along with potential stage winners like Chris Nielands, Julian Bernard, Andreas Leknesund, Anthony Turgis, Harold Tejada and Axel Laurence. Well, the GC teams didn't want to give them too much rope, keeping the gap at around a minute and a half. Soudal Quickstep, UAE Team Emirates XRG and Visma Leasebike taking turns on the front. The average speed was much higher than yesterday, over 44 kilometres an hour for the first 3 hours, and despite his early struggles, Milan was still hanging on in the peloton. Well, the riders entering the last 30 kilometres and approaching Château Jaune, which also featured on Paris-Nice this year. As Evenepoel explained, the favourites wanted to start the climb in good position, and the high pace in the peloton brought the gap down to around a minute. Once the gradients began to bite, Turgis was dropped. His fellow Frenchman Bernard going on the attack at the front with Tejada on the wheel. A group of 4 men were soon leading: Bernard, Tejada, Lipovitz and Leknesund, with the rest of the breakaway hot on their heels. No action amongst the GC favourites meanwhile. They were happy to let the break contest the win. Well, little by little, the group at the front reformed, with Van der Poel, Laurence, Dunbar, Barret, Romeo and Roland all catching up. Well, clearly they weren't too keen to take on Van der Poel in a sprint. Romeo and Lipovitz both trying their luck solo, but neither man was able to shake himself free of the group. Romeo then had another go with just over 5 kilometres remaining, and this time the Spanish rouleur got a small gap. The rest failing to react in time, and suddenly Romeo, a strong time trialist, had nearly 20 seconds in hand. The Movistar man heading for both the stage win and the yellow and blue jersey. The rest would battle it out for second place.
And he's greeted now by the crowds. He cannot believe what he's achieved from that group of riders. It's time to rejoice for Ivan Romeo, a masterclass by the Movistar youngster. His first World Tour win. Harold Tejada sprints now for the finish line. He takes second place. And we're going to have a new leader of the Dauphiné tonight.
Well, this will go down as the day Ivan Romeo truly came of age, taking his first World Tour victory in some style. The 21-year-old was the under-23 time trial world champion last year, and it showed as he held off Van der Poel and co in a display of sheer power and panache. It's his second professional win and only the 6th of the season for Movistar.
I knew the final. I had this stage on my mind since, I don't know, 1 month. We have been doing altitude in Sierra Nevada, working super hard, all the team doing a super good job, and they gave me this chance at the beginning of the week. So yeah, being able to pull it off like this is, I don't know what I just did yet.
Romeo winning by 14 seconds from his fellow escapees Tejada, Barret and Lipovic. Van der Poel led in a third group at 27 seconds, with the peloton crossing the line at 1 minute and 8 seconds. Romeo now leads the race by 17 seconds from Barret, followed by Tejada and Lipovic. Van der Poel slips to 5th, with Pogačar still inside the top 10 in 9th. Well, Van der Poel did increase his lead in the points classification. He is now 25 ahead of Pogačar, who came second at the day's intermediate sprints. Paul Orselin is still in polka dots, although Barret picked up 8 points today and he moves up to second in class. Well, finally, for the third straight day, we have a new best young rider in the shape of the stage winner and the race leader, Romeo. Well, stage 4 is going to be a big one for him and for the GC contenders. It's the individual time trial. Don't miss it. Join us again on Wednesday, and thanks for watching.